Good morning and welcome from the great city of Las Vegas. Are you fat? Are you obese? I was. Uh, People would say, "Oh, you're just big boned. Just you're big boned. Get over it." Other people would say, "Look, your mama was fat. Your sisters are fat. Your brothers are fat. You've just got the gene. You've just got the gene. Why are you trying to correct heredity? Just accept the fact that you're fat and enjoy life." Well, that's bullshit. Welcome, I'm Thomas Buchanan. I challenge you to start your own water fast today. I challenge you to go 30 days on a water fast. Not just any fast, a water fast. Now, before you say, well, Thomas, I could never water fast. Let me just be honest with you, Thomas. I could never fast. I mean, I can't go 4 hours without eating. Well, let me set you straight. You are already fasting. You just don't realize it. You're not having the right perspective. Now I'm sure you're sitting there shaking your heads in your computer room or on your couch or in your easy chair listening to this, and you're saying, no, I've never been on a fast. I don't fast. I probably could never fast. I've never done it in the past. How are you telling me that I'm already fasting? Well, allow me to explain. You sleep from, oh, I don't know, let's say 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. And that's a little excessive. You probably sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And that's when most normal people go to bed and rest and sleep. So, can we agree that the normal person goes to bed around 10 p.m. and gets up around 6 a.m., right? Well, unless you get up and you eat during the night, you have just fasted for 8 hours, right? I mean, I'm not lying to you, right? Of course. So you've been fasting every day of your life. You didn't realize it. You just didn't realize it. So when you say, as I said, when first presented with this concept, I said, oh, I could never water fast. I've never even thought about water fasting. I've never thought about fasting at all. I mean, I can't go 4 hours without eating food. And someone, they made the light bulb above my head, faintly turn on, and they shared with me the same thing I'm sharing with you. You already are fasting. Why don't you extend your fast? Now, I challenge you to go 30 days on water fasting. You can do it. You already are doing it for 8 hours a day while you sleep. Extend it. Now, I'm going to run through fairly quickly all of the reasons why you're sitting there saying, I can't do it. Well, first of all, we've gotten through the fact that you are fasting right now. You're fasting 8 hours a day while you sleep, unless you get up during the night and you pig out on cookies and cakes and fried chicken and donuts and we know you're not doing that because the normal person sleeps 8 hours a day. Well, the next thing that I had to get through was I have a bad leg. So I can't work out. I don't have a gym membership. I can't afford a gym membership. And even if I could afford it, I would never go to a gym. I have a bad leg. Okay, I had a machine when I was 10 years old fall on my leg and almost slice it in two. And they sewed me back up and pretty much said, you'll never play basketball or run a marathon. So I'm one that honestly, I would exercise if I could, but I can't. So I had to find something that would allow me to lose weight with zero exercise. Okay. Well, water fasting fits the bill because I challenge you on your first 30 days of your water fast, you're not to do any exercise at all. I don't want you to walk around the block. I don't want you to join a gym. I don't want you to work out, period. If all you do is get up and get out of bed and get dressed and sit in your easy chair or your recliner or on your couch all day long and then you go to bed, that's fine. Well, your next challenge to fasting is I can't afford it. You can't afford it? Really? You can't afford it? Water is free. You can afford it. You can do it. Okay? And for the first 7 days, I want you to know that for the first 7 days, you're not to have any liquids at all, and that includes water. And you may say, and of course, no food, no caffeine. And you're sitting there scratching your head saying, but this is a water fast. I'm allowed to drink water, right? No, you're not. Not for the first 7 calendar days. And here's why. You're already fat. You and I know that. You're already obese. You and I know that. As I started at 315 pounds. I mean, forget being fat. I was obese. I was ugly. Okay. I started at 315 pounds. So, don't tell me about being fat. I was obese. I could barely move. I had all kinds of health issues. And we'll get to those in a moment. Now, I want to pause right here and address someone that's watching me right now. I thought I had a huge challenge. You have an even more greater challenge because not only on the one hand do you have to lose weight, but on the other hand, you have to figure out how to get through and stop smoking cigarettes. Now, you know, I'll tell you a true, honest to God story about smoking when I was young, 15, 16, 14. I don't remember the age. My mama and daddy were chain smoking cigarette card holders. Okay. My mama and daddy, I mean, a pack a day, I mean, they would inhale a pack a day in an hour. My mama and daddy would smoke a pack a day. And that's when they cost, oh my, you're taking me back now. I can remember buying cigarettes for my mama and daddy. I think they were 35 cents a pack. They were, I want to say $2 or $3 a carton back then. So you have a much greater challenge than I do. Now, can you get through it? Yes, but it's going to take a lot more effort on your part because when you give up smoking, what do you turn to generally? You eat, right? I mean, if you're like most people, and I know that from my mom and dad's experience, but I can tell you this, and this is an honest to God true story about smoking. My daddy went to the hospital and he had a come to Jesus moment with his doctor. And his doctor pretty much set him down in a room and said, Ted, you've got one of two choices here. You can stop your smoking and you'll live a much longer life, or you can continue smoking and you'll be dead within weeks. It's your choice. Do you want death by cigarettes or death the natural way? Well, that was his come to Jesus moment. And until you go through that, until you get to that level or that point, you're going to continue to smoke. And even if you smoke, you're going to continue to eat foods that you shouldn't eat because of the adverse reaction that your body has to the nicotine that you're getting from the cigarettes. And, you know, my dad said, starting tomorrow morning, I will never smoke another cigarette in my life. And do you know, and I'm being honest with you, do you know that he never picked up a cigarette again, even though my mother continued to smoke? Now my mother was big. I mean, my mother was a big mama, all right? And I attribute that uh, not only to the nicotine in the cigarettes, but also the food that she ate. We know a lot more about eating today than we did 30, 40 years ago. So my hat goes off to you because if you're watching this, maybe today is the day. And I'm going to tell you what I told another smoker who has started his own water fast many weeks ago. I said the exact same thing to that smoker, and he took up the challenge and he said, I'm going to do what you say for 30 days. And then I may extend that for 60 days, or I will extend that until I reach my goal. But he said, starting tomorrow morning, I'm going to give up cigarettes. I don't care what kind of withdrawal I go through. I'm going to go through my house today, get rid of all of the cigarettes, throw them away, give them away. You know, they will no longer be in my home. So I challenge you to do that. And so far, based on the last comment that I had from him, he has not smoked from day one, and he is losing weight. Now let's go back to the water fast. So the first 7 days, you're not allowed any liquids, including water. And here's why. Follow me on this. I believe that if you're fat, more importantly, let's forget about the fat people and the people that are a little overweight. Let's talk about the obese people, which was me. I believe that if you're obese, your body stores liquids between your fat molecules or inside your belly, your buttocks, and your thighs. And I believe your body stores a lot more of the liquids that you drink than a skinny or an average weight person. So the first 7 days, I want your body to discharge. I want you to pee out all of the liquids that you can pee in 7 days. Now, let me stop right here and say I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm not telling you to do anything that I have not done myself, because I went for almost 15 years. I used up $500,000 worth of medical benefits. And I learned that my doctors, all they cared about was getting paid for the MRI scan or the CAT scan or the lab work. They didn't really want to solve the problem. They just wanted to get paid. So I spent $500,000 before I had a come to Jesus moment. And it's like, they're not really helping me. They're just scanning my body and running tests. So I figured this out all on my own. You can do this. You can do this. So the first 7 days, you pee out a lot of liquids. Now, I guarantee you, you're going to lose weight your first 7 days. And I challenge the cigarette smoker, when you, on day one of your water fast, I challenge you on day one to eliminate cigarettes, stop smoking at the same time. So what happens on day 8? Well, day 8, you're actually allowed to start drinking water, with one caveat. And again, I'm doing this myself. I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done. On day 8, most people say you can drink all the water you want on a water fast. Bullshit. Don't do it. Don't do it. On day 8, until you reach your goal weight that you set for yourself, you're only allowed 3 glasses of water. 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, and 1 for dinner. And no, they aren't 64-ounce big gulp glasses of water. You're only allowed 3 glasses of water, from 8 to 12 fluid ounces in each glass. And that's all you're allowed until you reach your goal weight. Now, let me pause here and say, if you take up my challenge, do 2 things immediately. First thing you need to do is set a goal weight. Okay. How much weight do you want to lose? So my goal weight, and I've been water fasting now for over 2 years off and on. and I've been trying different things, and you're getting the wisdom of my knowledge of the past several years. And I say this often, and I'm going to beat a dead horse here, but I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not doing or have not done. So set a goal weight. Okay, my goal weight for this water fast is 198 pounds. I have already lost the weight of a small sized human being. Hasn't been easy, and we'll get to that in a moment. But one day you're going to wake up and you're going to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's that day when you are going to change your life. And again, let me pause here and say, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to sell you supplements. I'm not trying to sell you prepackaged foods. I'm not trying to sell you a workout CD. I didn't write a book on how to lose weight. I'm not trying to sell you anything. So if anyone on my channel tries to sell you something, it's not me. If someone recommends their doctor, don't do it. Those people get paid for that. So, isn't it comforting that you can sit there and listen to this and say, wow, he doesn't want my money. That's amazing. He's not trying to sell me anything. So what's his angle? I don't have an angle. I want to encourage you through this channel. I update my channel Monday through Friday. I don't do it on the weekends, and I've never done it on the weekends. And somebody asked me why. I don't know. I've just never updated my channel. I don't even weigh myself on the weekends. It's not that I go out and eat pizza and donuts on the weekends. I mean, I stay true to my water fast, but I just, I don't do it. So if you take me up on this challenge, you're going to go through nicotine withdrawal starting tomorrow morning. And your body is going to let you know that it doesn't like you not feeding it food and feeding it liquids. And let me tell you a little of what I experienced. I call it Hell Week. The first week of water fast is your hell week, whether you're a smoker or not a smoker. And here's why. My body said, you're not going to feed me? I'll retaliate. I'll not let you sleep for a day or two. We'll see how you like that, Thomas. I mean, there was one night where I might have gotten 2 hours of sleep, and that's being generous. My body said, oh, where's the caffeine? Where's the coffee? You're not giving me caffeine anymore. I'm going to let you know that. I'm going to let you know I don't like that. And I had massive headaches. I mean, I had one headache while I was sleeping that literally woke me up from my sleep because my head hurt so bad because I was not feeding my body caffeine from Starbucks and from coffee. So you've got to have courage to do this, to start this journey. And if you don't, let me encourage you to go get a box of donuts this morning. Actually, go get 2 boxes and enjoy yourself. Because some of you are headed to the death by cigarettes. You're in that mode. there is something called death by food, and that's the journey you're on. Okay, and if that's the way you want your life to be, then what the hell? Eat as much as you want and don't worry about it. Because your mama was fat, your brother was fat, your sisters are fat. You're just destined to be fat and ugly, and that's just, there's nothing you can do about it. Or you can accept my challenge, and you can say for 30 days, because what he's suggesting isn't going to cost me anything. For 30 days, I'll go without food. The other thing that you want to do if you accept my challenge today is hand your cell phone to your spouse, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, your brother, sister, uncle, whoever, and have them take a sideways fat picture of yourself. Now, I've got to tell you, at 315 pounds, I didn't do that, and I regret that to this day. I mean, to drop from 315 down to my current weight, I first of all, I didn't believe this would actually work. I thought this is just bullshit. This is just one more scam for somebody to figure out a way to make money, to scam me out of something. I mean, so I really didn't believe. I'm like you. But I also said, I've tried everything else. I've spent $500,000 in medical benefits. That didn't work. I would shoot myself with needles of insulin because at that point I was an acute diabetic. That didn't work. So I really didn't believe, but I accepted the challenge because it just, the definition of insanity is when you keep doing the same thing over and over and you expect a different result. That's insanity. And I'm like, well, I've never tried fasting. I don't think I could fast for 30 days. I don't think I could fast for 3 hours, but I'm going to try it. Well, a couple of years ago, my starting weight was 315 pounds. And don't call me fat, that would insult me. You can call me obese. I was obese. Okay. I've got one man, I take my hat off to this gentleman. He's precious to me. He contacted me and he said, Thomas, I need to lose weight. And he said, I would pray to God to see 315 pounds. He said, I'm over 500 pounds today. I need to lose the weight. I'm going on a water fast with you. And he too is losing weight. But when I started at 315. I'm on a mini water fast right now. I'm going to go 10 days, and I might extend it to 14 days with obviously no food, but no liquids of any kind. Because my experiment that I'm doing right now on myself is I want to see if I can lose weight, burn fat faster if I reduce the amount of water that I ingest every day. Now, I told you you're allowed 3 glasses of water, 8 to 10 ounce glasses per day. So I had a viewer challenge me, What if you reduce that 3 glasses of water down to 1 glass or no glasses for 14 days or 10 days or 8 days? I said, I'll take you up on that challenge. And I'm now in my 4th day, and I'm not weighing myself during this period. So I'll let everybody know how much I lost during this period. But it was an interesting perspective. And I said, I will take you up on your challenge. Now, at a larger picture level, I've been water fasting now. This is actually week 7. I believe it's day 3 or 4 of my current water fast. So I've actually been fasting for 7 weeks. And everybody wants to know, well, what's your current weight? How much have you lost? Well, my very first water fast started at 315. The last time that I stepped on a scale about a week ago, I was around 233, 235. My goal weight is 198. And let me be honest with you and say, I wouldn't cry a river if my body would permit it. If I could touch 188, I would really like to see. I mean, I haven't seen 188. I haven't seen 188 in over a half century. and and before you say, well, he's anorexic. No, no, no. Let me share with you, because you'll have friends and family say, oh my God, he's lost his mind. He's anorexic. No, the difference between an anorexic and you and I who are fasting, water fasting, is that an anorexic has no goal in mind. Okay. Uh, my goal, as I just shared with you, is 198. I will reach 198. And you and I together, not only are we going to find a way to lose the weight, which I've discovered. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind. I don't care who you are, what nationality you are. I don't care how tall or short you are. You can lose weight, and you will lose weight if you follow me. And again, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Keep your money. I'm trying to encourage you to take charge of your life. It's 2022. Don't you think it's about time? Somebody just asked me a personal question about my dad. My dad's been dead now for probably 20 years, and it's still a touchy subject, but I will be glad to share the answer to your question. This gentleman wants to know, how long did my dad live because he stopped smoking? Well, the doctor came in, and I'll share a little bit more of the conversation with you because it means something to you. The doctor came in and he said, if you don't stop smoking, you've got several months at best, and we will be putting you in a casket. He said, if you stop smoking today, he said, I can almost guarantee you that you will live another 5, maybe 10 years. And that was all. I mean, my dad could tell the doctor was being honest and sincere and straightforward. And that's why he stopped the following day. How long did he live? He lived 8 years and a few months because he did stop the smoking. His lungs had been damaged so much by the cigarettes. I was actually surprised he lived another 8 years, but If you catch it early, I don't know how long you've been smoking, but if you catch it early and stop early enough, your body regenerates itself every few months, and you still have an opportunity for your lungs to possibly repair itself. So you know, think about it. I mean, again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Uh, I, I've never been through caffeine withdrawal from cigarettes. I hear it's hell on wheels, but you've got to work through it. It's kind of like saying to a drug dealer, I mean, I don't take cocaine or marijuana or any of the drugs. I don't do drugs, but it's kind of like saying to the person that takes cocaine, you have to give it up or you're going to die. And so you lock that person in a room for a month or 2 or 3 weeks until they go through their withdrawal, and they'll be better for it. Now, I'm not saying lock yourself into a room, but if you need to, do that. Go into your bedroom and say, today is the first day I am giving up cigarettes. Today is the first day of my poor eating. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm going on this water fast to lose weight. So, you can do it. The question is, will you do it? It's extremely difficult to do, but that's what I said about myself. Let me tell you, I'm 66 years old. If you had told me when I was 65 years old that a 65-year-old man, I mean, I prayed to God that I would see 299. Okay. I mean, I thought it would be Christmas if I could lose 15 pounds. Well, obviously, I'm well below 299 now. And it's, I've never felt better. I've never felt healthier. Uh, and let me say one more thing about medications. Now, I'm not a doctor, and my doctor gasped, turned white as a sheet when I suggested this, and he said, "Oh, hell no, don't do it." I challenge you on day one of your water fast to go off all your meds. Now, if you're on cancer, if you have cancer and you're on cancer meds, don't go off your cancer meds. But use common sense here. But I went off all my meds. What meds were I on? Well, I was injecting myself with insulin 3 times a day because I was obese. My body couldn't handle all the food I was eating. I was on high blood pressure medicine because I was fat, right? I was on thyroid medicine because my thyroid was screwed up. Everybody in the world is on high blood pressure medicine and thyroid medicine. And if your doctor hasn't prescribed that for you yet, he will or she will. So I went off all my meds on day one. I figured, and here's my thought process behind going off all meds. I went off all meds because I figured, look, I believe that my body will adjust and correct itself. And it did. And I can give you, I can give you case in point after case in point. I mean, I no longer take insulin. I don't know if you know what an A1C number is, but if you have an A1C number of 11 or 12 or higher, you're going to die. let me just be honest. My A1C number when I started was either 12 and a half or 13 and a half. My last lab result, my A1C number had dropped to 6.5. My blood pressure medication. Oh, you got to take your blood pressure medication. Your blood pressure's out of control. My last lab, I have no blood pressure issue. My blood pressure is completely normal, within normal range. My thyroid, and let me just stop and talk about thyroid. One of the reasons why I have you go off all coffee, because Starbucks won't tell you this, the coffee producers will not tell you this, but I used to get in my hands and my feet, I used to get extremely cold. Well, coffee causes your legs and your feet and your hands to get extremely cold, the caffeine. It's one of the side effects. No, I didn't know that at the time, but I do now. That's why today and during all of my water fasts, I don't drink coffee. I'm off of coffee. Now, I've gotten over the massive caffeine withdrawal headaches, and they were rough, but I did it. And I could go on and on and on. I mean, I'm not going to bore you with all the medications I was on, but let me just say, I had been prescribed over 50 drugs, not illegal drugs, but 50 drugs by a licensed medical doctor. I now don't even take aspirin. Okay? So again, my doctor said, "Oh hell no, don't do it. Don't go cold turkey off these medications. These medications are dangerous if you stop them cold turkey." Well, I lived. You might die. I don't know, but I lived, and I'm glad I did. So, no food, no liquids for the first 7 days. On the 8th day, until you reach your goal weight, 3 glasses of 8 to 12 ounce glasses of water, and that's it. And I ceased all medications. And look at the weight I've lost. Now, it's kind of funny when I look in the mirror and I say, on the one hand, I'm grateful for what I've done because I've dropped from 315 to 230-ish, right? I mean, that in itself is quite an accomplishment. But I got up this morning and I looked in the mirror, and even though I don't weigh myself on the weekends, I said, I still look fat. I'm really looking forward to losing these last 20, 30 pounds and touching 198. So that's my program. I challenge you to stop smoking. My dad lived an additional 8 years. Had my dad not quit smoking, he would have lived probably another couple of months at best. You're doing damage to your lungs by smoking. You're doing damage to your overall organs in your body by being obese. I don't even care that you're fat. I'm talking to you obese people, because that's where I was. And believe me, your body lets you know when you stop the coffee. Your body will let you know when you stop the cigarettes. Your body will let you know when you stop the food and the liquids that it doesn't appreciate that. Well, you have to let your body know You live inside your body. You are in charge of your body, and you're going to lose the weight. So, that's my story. I update my channel Monday through Friday. I wanted to come to you I'm currently in Las Vegas. I had a wonderful meeting with a couple of people that had decided to take up the challenge. They lived in Vegas, and they said, if you're ever in Vegas, give us a call. We'd like to meet you. And but more importantly, I came to Vegas because this is the year 2022. I can't believe that there's an actual restaurant that does this. And my mission, one of my missions these 4 days is to find this restaurant. There is a restaurant in Las Vegas that apparently, if you weigh 350 pounds or more, you can go there 7 days a week and eat for free. Now, I'm not quite sure where it's located. I'll find it if it exists, and I'll take a picture of it, and you'll see it next week when I get back home. I'm doubtful that it's here, but I'm looking. I'm asking around. I mean, I've got to know, really? Can a restaurant, I mean, that's just wrong at all levels for a restaurant to say you can pig out to your heart's content and we'll not charge you a dime. So, well, I've got to tell you about your comment on cereals. My mama, I grew up eating cereals. I mean, sugar pops and corn flakes, and I love, milk and cereal. Especially milk. Giving up milk was hard for me. I mean, I could sit down in a meal and consume a half gallon of milk. Okay. And cereal, I mean, I've never met a cereal I didn't like. I mean, it's the honest to God truth. But you have to give it up. And for that person to feed her child cereal and milk, let me tell you about milk. Milk has hormones in it nowadays. Milk is not the same milk that it used to be 30, 40 years ago. It's all of this genetically modified stuff. And cereal is just absolutely the worst thing that your neighbor could feed her child. I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong at all levels. So, and you've got to watch your approach with people, because if you approach your neighbor and say, you've got to stop this is wrong, you're making your child fat, she's going to get angry with you, and you can't do that. But I just I you know I don't mean to diss my parents. My parents did the very best they could. They were poor school teachers. They did the very best they could in raising their 5 kids. But they just didn't know any better. Do you know? I mean, back then there were cigarette commercials on TV. One I remember to this day. Winston tastes good like a fill in the blank. I mean, the marketing people are good at this. And I'm not prepared to say this yet, but I have an observation about eating meat that now I've said to my doctor many times, I'm going to die with a ribeye in my mouth. And it suddenly struck me how right that was. I think I've discovered something about red meat, and I'm not asking you to give up red meat after we go on maintenance, because trust me, I'm going to eat red meat. But I've discovered something about red meat that I'm investigating. Oprah Winfrey got in a lot of trouble with the meat producers by her comments about red meat. I mean, again, going back to my parents, they did the best they could with the knowledge they had at the time, and you know, that's all you can do is try and better yourself each day. Try to improve your knowledge, improve your life, and learn. And that's why I'm doing this live telecast from Vegas. I mean, I do these occasionally from wherever I am because I want people to know that, there is a cheap, easy, actually, I don't know if water fasting is that easy. It's quite challenging. But there is a way out of being obese. I mean, again, I never thought I would be in the 230s. Okay. I mean, and I'm still learning today. I'm still experimenting today. This mini water fast now I'm not drinking any liquids, including water for 10, 12, 14 days. It's fun to experiment. It's fun to pass on knowledge to you that I've done myself. Again, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done or I'm not doing. And that's the way we learn and we grow. So I'm going to end this now. I want to say thank you to the person that mentioned something called the Heart Attack Grill. I have not. I've been looking in the newer section of Vegas, but I will definitely. I would assume they've got a web page. I'll Google the restaurant and find out where it's located. I guarantee you, if it exists, you will see a picture on my updates next week sometime when I return back home. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. Consider water fasting. And if you want to start tomorrow, I'll leave you with this. If you want to start tomorrow, which I challenge you to start tomorrow for 30 days. But today, you've got one important thing to do. Whether you smoke or not. If you smoke, get rid of all of your cigarettes today. Now, I don't care if you smoke them all today. Have a party. Smoke all of the remaining cigarettes that you've already bought today, if you'd like. Or you can get rid of them and don't throw them in the trash can, because you can very easily walk outside and dig them out of the trash can and start smoking again once things get rough. But more importantly, for you people that don't smoke, I want you to go through your home today and I want you to get rid of all of your cookies and your cakes and your pies and your donuts, and really go find a homeless person and give it to them. Go find a neighbor, a friend. Uh, Give your food to your brother, your sister, your relative, and say, today is the day, starting tomorrow, I'm going to change my life. Because if you have that stuff around, I mean, let me just talk honestly here. You and I are adults. We may say we have willpower, but we don't. When our head hurts so much, we'll grab for that cup of coffee to lessen the headache. When our body shakes from not having a cigarette, we'll go dig out a cigarette from somewhere and we'll put it in our mouths, you will, to get rid of the shakes. So, that's my challenge for you. Set a goal weight, get a fat picture taken, have someone take your picture, a side view, and let's go down this journey together. If you like this channel, make sure you click the subscribe button. And if you only click the subscribe button, you will not get my updates. Make sure when you click your subscribe button, you click the bell next to the subscribe button and you click the word all. I had several, I'm not techie, weenie type person, but I had several channels that I only clicked the subscribe button to, and I said to myself, well, I guess they don't update their channel. Well, they had been updating their channel, but because I didn't click the bell next to the subscribe button and click the word all, I wasn't notified of any of their updates. And of course, if you like the content, click like. I like likes. It's great. But I've got to tell you, I've got 65 plus people right now who have joined me on a water fast, and they're on their own water fast. And based on the comments that I get from them, it does work. I know it works. It's just a question of, are you willing to take up the challenge? And that's what it all boils down to. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? And I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer it. And for those of you who know fat people, for those of you who have obese friends, I would be greatly honored if you would send them a link to this channel so they can watch this. That means more to me than you clicking the like button, because between you and I could care less about Google's numbers. I'm not out to have a following of 100 million people. I want to take a very small population, and 65 plus is more than I ever anticipated would take up the challenge. I'm completely pleased with that. And if that's all that follows me, that's fine. Because I want to make a change. I want to make a difference in 65 people's lives. And we're going to do it together. Now, I can't ever imagine what you cigarette smokers are going through when you go through withdrawal. But I can only promise you this: you will get through it. It will not be easy. You will get through it. And for you fatzos out there, and I never thought I'd call anybody a fatso. I never thought I'd call anybody obese. There is a way to lose weight. If I end this show with this. If a 66-year-old man can lose from 315 down to 230s, you can too. I'm not big boned. It's not hereditary. Stop believing all the lies. and say, it's a new year, it's the year 2022. I'm going to change my life forever. I always like to try and end my show with the saying, these three words just ring so true to me. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Start your water fast tomorrow. Remember, no liquids, no food for the first 7 days. It will be hell. Your body will let you know. On the 8th day, until you reach your goal weight, you're allowed 3 glasses of water, 8 to 12 ounce glasses for each meal, and that's it. You don't need to exercise. You don't need to buy prepackaged foods. Don't spend any money at all. I don't care if all you do is lay in bed because you're too obese to get out of bed. I don't care if all you do is get out of your bed and walk to your couch and sit there and play video games all day. That's fine. You don't need to exercise. Take, take my challenge, 30 days. You will be glad you did. It's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to come into your homes. It's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure for you to give up a few minutes of your day to listen to me. And again, I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't done in the past or I'm not currently doing. So please like and subscribe. Make sure you click the bell and click the word all so you can get all the notifications. And I wish you a good day. And for those of you that are going to take up the challenge, clear out the cookies, the cupcakes, the donuts, all the bad foods, get rid of the cigarettes, and we'll get through this together. I would hate for you or me or anyone to have on your death certificate death by cigarettes or death by food. Let's not let that happen. So I challenge you, seize the moment, seize the opportunity. This is one you can afford. It's been an honor. I'll update my channel on Monday. Have a great day.